I was former Agri Secretary Siraj Hussain to talk about the monsoon and its impact, of course, on crops. Mr. Hussain, hi, thank you so much for joining us. 34% deficiency for the month of August with El Nino setting in, and September perhaps would not be able to cover that. How serious is the situation when we look at crops? I mean, it would have impacting concerns also on rural demand, development, other asset classes as well going forward. I mean, are we taking it serious enough?
I think in some states the situation is quite bad because even in July they had deficient rains. So 2 consecutive months of deficient rains would have definitely impacted the kharif crops. Now there are some other states where July rains were excessive or normal. Gujarat, for example, which had excessive rains in July. So if the structures constructed under Manrega have actually spent 70% of their funds on irrigation structures, then I think the crop there could be saved even if the monsoon has been deficient in August. So I think it is a mixed picture and we have to see state by state. But in some states it is really bad, like Karnataka, Maharashtra, etc.
How would you look at pulses especially? Because one, we are looking at lower sowing. The second is that in many of these states, including Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, for example, the numbers do look quite bleak in sense of rainfall as well. Does it bother you when we look at the prices of tuar, urad, chana, moong, all of those climbing in last 1 month?
Yes, in case of tur, actually, it seems that even the carryover stocks are low. And this year, the area coverage is low, and then we have deficient monsoon. So I had written a piece with my colleague Shweta Saini the other day, in which we had said that for tur, we need to do something in the long term, including a possible investment in research so that some low duration varieties can be developed. Because that is a move in India is a success story. So the productivity has gone up, the area has gone up, farmers are earning better income. So similar kind of technological breakthrough is needed in case of tur also.
How would you also look at the very essential crops like rice and wheat, for example? While the rice sowing is seen good, but the overall crop, the markets believe, would be perhaps on the lower side with the kind of steps that we've seen government take. Wheat as well is trading near 6-month highs. I mean, even with the kind of steps the government has taken, we continue to see price rise holding.
Actually, I'm a little curious why the government is delaying the slashing of import duty on wheat. There are reports from various parts of India indicating that there may be a shortage of wheat to the extent of about 2.5 to 3 million tons. And if the duty is slashed to zero, then the private trade may easily import wheat at southern ports, which will cool down not only the wheat prices, but it will also have an impact on rice prices because the two cereals are interchangeable in many parts of India. As far as rice is concerned, I must acknowledge that my assessment of rice production last year did not come true. I had not anticipated that the government will be able to procure 51 million tons of rice. So I do not think I should be hazarding a guess this year. I think the government is in a better position to assess the production, and the number of steps taken by the government to restrict export of various varieties of rice indicate that the government itself is quite concerned about the lower production of rice due to deficient monsoon.
So what crop, what state would you be more worried about, Mr. Hussain? And also with the festival season upon us, availability, affordability, what's your sense on both of these?
Actually, as far as rice is concerned, I think Andhra Pradesh, Telangana are the states, and Bihar also, where the production may be lower. But as I said, if the Narega structures have actually been constructed with 30%, with 70% investment going in for irrigation infrastructure, then I think the situation would be safe. Now, we do not have these kind of details. Only the government will be having this kind of data from the district level upwards.
So what crop, just repeating that, what crop would you be more concerned about as we get into September, a last month of monsoons where we get just about 15% of the overall quantum to begin with?
Actually, paddy is the largest crop in Kharif, and also it is a very important cereal consumed by millions of people across India, not only in southern states, but also increasingly in northern states and also in eastern India. So if paddy crop is low and if paddy prices continue to rise, then I think it will have a very substantial impact on inflation, and it will also impact the prices of other food items. But if paddy crop does not turn out to be as bad as many people are expecting, then I think inflation in general would be in control. Because for pulses, for tour, etc., I'm sure that our diplomats are already talking to African governments to augment the export of tour from there into India. So whatever is possible, I'm sure the government would already be doing to increase the supply. But I must say that repeated steps in case of rice to restrict the export of rice have resulted in a lot of confusion, and that is why we see a number of steps now being taken to roll back the complete ban on export of various varieties of rice.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Mr. Hussain, and thanks to Manisha as well for giving us an update on the commodity markets. By the way, a lot of IT stocks